Hey everybody, it's Will. Thanks again for stopping on by, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, one and all, and I hope you have a great and safe holidays. Today, I didn't really know what to do for a video, and I just wanted to kind of share a story, my story of A Link to the Past, Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Everybody here on YouTube's pretty much had a story, and well, mine's not, too exciting or wild or anything. I just wanted to kind of tell you what was going on through my mind when I was a wee little lad. And I picked up, and here's my copy of The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Now, I used to have a box complete copy, but the packaging and all that was thrown out and destroyed. Well, I was a stupid little kid, I didn't know any better. But anyways, and it came with the map and everything, and I remember the map in Link to the Past wasn't as useful as the map in the original The Legend of Zelda, which is too bad because I really love that original little Legend of Zelda map. But the Link to the Past map was it wasn't very useful, and I quickly lost that one. It's kind of amazing actually. I'm really good with treating my games well and all that, keeping them in nice pristine condition, but I don't know. Something happened with the Link to the Past, and I first played this game with my buddy Brandon. I went over to his place, and he was the kid that had everything on my street, video game wise. He had everything, and Link to the Past, well, he had that one too. And I remember playing this game, and I was like, this is fucking amazing. The things you could do in this game. It wasn't like open world, but you could travel to various parts of the territory of Hyrule, and you get the hook shot later on, the flippers, and the flippers is another thing that was so cool about A Link to the Past, that you could swim around Hyrule. I really like that, and it's something that I wish you could do in the original Zelda and The Adventure of Link, was just swim around. I mean, most people know how to swim. Your character should be able to swim around these bodies of water. And the fact that you could discover, new hidden areas and all that, because you could swim, across the rivers and lakes and all that, it was really cool, and I really, really enjoyed that. It's kind of like the feather item in the Game Boy version, Link's Awakening. I always liked you could do somersaults and jump over pits and things like that, and I wish they incorporated that into, further Zelda games, because really, this was kind of it for me. Zelda-wise was the Link to the Past, and I played it, and it was so amazing. I mean, when you pulled out the Master Sword in the Lost Woods, I just thought that was like an iconic moment for us older generation, the NES, SNES players. I mean, that was just freaking awesome. I mean, you can go and you can upgrade, your shield and all that, your bombs, obviously. You grab arrows and all that. I just thought it had a great inventory item system. I mean, you get the magic powder and all that, the magic mirror. You can go to the dark world, which is another awesome, cool, amazing thing. It didn't take me very, very long to beat A Link to the Past. I found my own copy after playing it for 2 or 3 weekends straight with my buddy Brandon. I kept going over and kept picking his brain for like, oh, where's this heart piece? Where's that heart piece? And how to get past this dungeon and all that. And when I got my own copy, I was full on, I was ready, I was armed, and I was locked and loaded, dangerous. I was ready to go, and I kind of, I breezed through the game quite easily, actually. Not that I want to brag or anything, but the later parts were tricky. Obviously, the ice palace of the, oh man, so many floors of that ice palace. I really, really hated that one. But The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, there's a division between players which Zelda game's the best. Ocarina of Time, I guess Majora's Mask, but I don't really like that one. Ocarina of Time or A Link to the Past, and I'm a Link to the Past kind of guy. Not to say that Ocarina of Time wasn't great, because it was in my era, just getting out of my era, and it was a solid, awesome 3D Zelda game. Nothing had come even close to anything before it. It was a great game, but for me, A Link to the Past, I guess I'm steeped in nostalgia, obviously. I grew up with the game, but oh man, when I just look back at all the adventures, all the great times with this game, is awesome. Retro Matt and I thoroughly thrashed this game, as well as the two of us and Brandon, and I really owe it to Brandon for giving me a lot of these tips and tricks to beat the game. I mean, it was a linear experience, but back then this was the creme de la creme for the SNES owners. This is like owning like Final Fantasy 2 or 3 on the SNES. This is one of the must-haves, one of the games you can brag to your friends that, oh, I found this and that really easy. And You weren't a true SNES gamer unless you had, at least the Link to the Past on you, and you beat it. It's kind of like street cred, as kids in the playground. But yeah, I mean, I remember one specific little thing where I was right at the beginning, the first castle you're in, and you rescue Zelda. Well, I was playing all morning, and my aunt was babysitting Retro Matt and I, and she was kind of knitting or whatever and peering up every so often at the TV. And when you save Zelda and she starts following you, she started cracking up laughing. I'm like, the hell's going on? Like, why are you laughing? And she's like, well, just move around. And it's like, the little girl is following you around, you wiggle the joystick and you do all these funny movements, and it's like, yeah, that's funny, like, she's following you. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of neat. I didn't think about that, because, it was kind of a big thing, because in the NES games, you didn't have, like, secondary, third characters following you. I mean, very rarely. I mean, the Dragon Quest games did that, the later ones, but, Zelda 1 or Zelda 2, you didn't have, Link was running around Hyrule, you didn't have little 8-bit Zelda following you or anything like that when you rescued her. So I thought that was kind of neat. She was just laughing her ass off. This is Zelda, this little girl following me around. But yeah, I got my copy at the gameplay store called, I think it was Game Nation or Video Nation. It didn't last too long, only about a year or two in my local area, but man, did they have a lot. It was a retro game store before, retro game stores as we know it now. They had like everything back in the day, old school, very little new school stuff, but it didn't last long, obviously. I guess there was just no market for it, right? But it was just great. I picked up my box copy for another 20, I think it was like 15 or 20 bucks, really. And man, Retro Man and I, we played the shit out of this game. We had so many good memories, so much fun together, just watching each other, passing the controllers around and all that, playing this game. And I just thought I'd share with you my experience of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. A stellar game, you guys all know it, but I hope you enjoy this little tiny wee episode, my little Christmas special. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get down to my parents' place to see my other brothers and all that. We all kind of migrate there Christmas holiday, but I got snowed in. I'm too far up north, so we couldn't exchange gifts and all that. Retro Matt and I actually wanted to exchange gifts on my channel, on a video of ours, but I guess we'll have to do that next year. Hopefully the weather holds out next year. But anyway, so I'm Will. Everybody have a safe and happy holidays. Have a happy new year. In the meantime, in between time, for those about to retro, like Link to the Past, we salute you. Take care. Bye-bye.